Welcome back to Just Scylla. This podcast is about empowering, it's about learning, it's about educating each other through conversations. So today I am really thrilled to have Deletra Hudson here. Deletra is an education coach, a financial coach. You want people to be empowered about money.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How did you get into the field?
Well, I've always had a passion about and a fascination about money. As a child, I've had this entrepreneurial spirit that as growing up, my cousins and I would set up shop on my grandmother's front porch and sell candy and homemade art to the kids in the neighborhood. It was just always in my blood. And learning how to make money was something that wasn't taught to me. Mm-hmm. So it was something that I had to learn on my own. And because as a child, when we would have different conversations going on in the household about money, we were told, you go and you stay in a child's place. This is grown folk conversation. So you really weren't a part of that. So along the ways, I learned from trial and error. I had sloppy money management skills, poor credit, and it took me learning how to mimic people who had more, who created the vision for me. Many of those people may have been celebrities or people of status, people who I may have come across in my work experience.
Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
So you were the first person in your family to graduate from college, your immediate family.
Correct. I am an only child, but I grew up in a household with my cousins. And yes, I was the example. I was the first one to go off to school away and to graduate from college.
And you got a master's degree.
I have a master's degree in finance.
And so it sounds like you have a lot of what women have, the passion to overcome their circumstances, but we are not given a roadmap of how to do it to sustain ourselves during the process. So a lot of women know how to make money. Yes. They don't know how to keep money or invest the money.
Absolutely.
And that's where you ended up focusing because you had your own trials and errors.
Absolutely. Part of my work experience when I was in corporate America, because I spent many years in corporate America, I worked for local municipalities because I have come to you with over 25 years of financial experience in the industry, and 18 of that is in government. So I interacted with the community. I interacted with people who had households, who were managing households, business owners, and really helping them to understand what were their trials, where were they being stuck when it came to finances.
That came from you having gone through it. So walk me through it. You get to college. My guess is you did what most of us have done. You get credit cards.
Absolutely.
You get student loans.
Yes, you do.
All of that.
All of that.
Cars that you shouldn't be buying.
Absolutely.
With high interest.
With your student loan money.
Exactly. So how do you transition from
credit
that?
Cards.
Yes.
It really takes, one, I tell everyone this, even with coaching, mindset is the foundation of starting. You have to understand and be aware. And as I stated, it took me educating myself. It took me recognizing what I wanted out of life and then studying for that. Because remember, and this is something else that didn't click with me until I was an entrepreneur. When you go to college, when you go to school, you're being taught how to be an employee, not an employer. So that educational process was teaching me how to manage other people's money. There was never a course that taught you how to manage your own money.
That is such a critical thing.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of women that you deal with are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
For example, I quit my job and started a business because I had a vision and a passion.
Yes.
But I never had to manage money.
Yes.
And so how do you educate yourself? It sounds easy and you read articles, But there's a shift psychologically that has to happen.
There is a shift. You must read, and foundationally, you must surround yourself in the environment that reflects your vision. So that means you need to be around people who have money. Be around people who have overcome the challenges, who have obtained the success that looks like the success that you want. And not to say that we judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you have to step out on that skidding branch and trust that what you see on the outside is reflective of where those people have made it. And when they make it, that's what you see. And we have to, that's what I did. I read books. I saw people who, even on a celebrity basis, one person for certain that I know had an influence in their book that influenced the way that I thought about money was The Art of the War, which was a book.
I have that book.
That book was written by Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And I read that book. I've read that book like several times in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. And that book really laid down a foundation of a system, a lifestyle system.
Now, let me just say that this is not a good time to bring up Donald Trump.
We're not promoting.
But there was a moment in time when he was admired for his business acumen.
Correct. And that's the moment that I'm speaking of, because it was during that time that I saw a successful business person. I read the book. I understood strategies and learned from them. And that's what I say is what pushed me to starting to move and see the vision. You must see someone that you can follow. We gather much more success when we can visualize. We have to have a vision, put in place a plan, and start to activate that plan so that we can achieve the goals that we desire to achieve.
One of the things you said is you have to put yourself in a room with people you want to be like.
Yes.
In a different term, but it sounds easier said than done, because
Correct.
I know how much work I had to do to be comfortable in those rooms, because it's a mindset. So if you come from a background where you're coming from humble beginnings, all of a sudden you're in this group of elite people, so to speak.
Yes.
And it feels very uncomfortable. So a lot of people go to networking events and feel like it's a waste of time because they don't get out of it. So what were the strategies you incorporated in your daily living to make sure that when you walk in that room, you felt like you belonged there?
Daily, you wake up with an intention. If in fact there is a networking event, okay, let's just do an example of how I prepare. Daily, I wake up and my day starts off with my prayer, my meditation. And I am intentional about what it is that I want to achieve out that day. This didn't just start when I became an entrepreneur. So this was part of my daily motivational mindset shift. So daily, you must determine what it is that you want and where you think you're going to get it. So for example, if this evening I'm going to a networking event, and this is a networking event of people who are a level up from where I am, find out the purpose of the event before you just go. Don't just step out and go to a networking event because there is a networking event.
So you have to be as intentional about the events you go to network, because that leads to the money that you have to figure out how to manage so that you're constantly growing.
Absolutely. Be intentional about going, what the purpose is, and what is going to be the outcome of going. Are you going to connect with 3 people? That may be simple. Are you going to collect 3 business cards? Are you going to introduce yourself to 5 people and leave your business contact with them, or exchange information? Exchanging information is key. And then that helps take the pressure off of being uncomfortable. There may be a term for this, but I am an introvert and an extrovert when I need to be.
You are an extroverted introvert.
Is that the term?
Because that's what I am. That's
Okay.
what I say. I bring it when I have to.
Yes.
But really, at the core of me, I'm an introvert.
Absolutely. And
So as
that's
a
me.
business owner, to make money, you have to learn how to become an extrovert.
Correct.
Which is how we met.
And that's how we met.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, it would have been okay at that event if I sat at a table by myself the entire time.
I get it.
But when you're forced to do what needs to be done and you have to step out of your comfort zone, have a plan for that so that you don't overwhelm yourself. And when you go to these events to get exposure, have a plan. So if your plan is, I'm going to connect with 3 people, go be intentional about connecting with 3 people, and then it's okay to leave.
So what are simple things you can do to get your finances on track?
The first thing is foundationally is always mindset. First, understand you're not the only one. So once you can get over that hurdle, now let's start to connect with how we work with our money. Be aware, build a relationship with your money. How do you do that? 1, understand what's coming in to your household, your bank account, and then what is going out. And how you do that is start tracking. Tracking is so imperative, even if that means writing it down. And I recommend for 30 days, I typically do like a 30-day challenge to people. For 30 days straight, write all of your money activity down. Write what you have coming in, even if you know it. Oh, I know I'm getting a paycheck on the 15th, or I know I'm getting some revenue is coming to me on the 30th. I don't care if you know it. Write it down, because vision and being able to see it, your eyes or the heart are the keys to your soul. And when you can visually see it and start to put those things in action, you can really start transformation. So I challenge people to take that 30-day challenge and track all of your money.
So somebody has finally made it. They have a business. They are running everything.
Yes.
How do you scale? How do you get more money to be able to manage the things that you're building? Because you get to for example, a 5-year mark in your business, and you have to go to the next level.
Yes.
How do you do that without getting into debt?
You have to, this term might sound like it's duplicated all the time, but you really have to 10x your efforts. That means never stop. If whatever you did to get going, you need to multiply that 10 times so that you can elevate. Be consistent, continue to be visible, get out there and let people know who you are, what you're offering, so that people understand. As you stated early on, you said that when you started your business, you had a vision and you were passionate about what it was that you wanted to do, but you were not focused on money management. And that's where I want to help raise awareness with people. Follow your dreams, but also know that in order to continue to grow financially and start to build that legacy for your family, you must be aware of what's happening with your money. You must develop that relationship with your money as you do a relationship with people.
That is so powerful. So Deletra and I met at a leadership seminar. We are both interested in scaling. So the seminar was for businesses that are established and they want to take everything to the next level to have financial success in 10 years. So we are both continuously doing the work to grow our businesses, but making sure we are managing money. And what excited me about talking to you was that you were hitting key points that I have experienced, that I too have learned through making mistakes. And I don't want to make those mistakes again. So I really, really want to learn. Yes. And so for people like me who want to learn, where can they find you?
Visit my website at www.deletrahudson.com and just connect with me there. I offer a 30-minute complimentary session where I will speak to you with no obligation, just to kind of understand where you are, what challenges you have, what goals you want to set, so that we can put a plan in place to help you build a strong foundation financially.
I could talk to you forever.
I know, I
Because
love
this
it.
is so layered. I mean, there's just so much you can learn about money.
It is. There's a lot. There's a lot.
And so I hope we do something together in the future.
We will.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'll see you next time.